here's kind of what I learned. All of us are going to go through adversity. All of us are going to go through problems. I heard this one time, and I know that it's true. Somebody woke you up in the middle of the night, and they ask you. First of all, you keep wondering what they're doing in your home. But if I woke up Alex in the middle of the night and I said, Alex, what are your problems? He could probably rattle them off. Any of us could, right? But if you wake up somebody in the middle of the night, which is kind of what Alfred just did to Ruth, and said, hey, what's your goals? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What do you want to accomplish? What direction are you heading? So many times we're looking in the rear view mirror and we're trying to drive, not looking at the windshield that's in front of us because we're too busy looking at what's going on, behind us. And so what I learned through my story that I'm about to share with you guys is that, the storms are going to come, right? I heard Grant Cardone say that you're either going into a crap storm or you're coming out of a crap storm. That's the way that life works. So it's not a matter of whether or not the storms and the hurricanes are going to come. The question is, are you gonna complain about it being there and be upset and become bitter about it, or are you gonna get in your airplane and are you gonna take yourself to a higher altitude and rise above it even though it's happening? And in my personal story, I had to learn how to do that the hard way, because who in here has heard my full story? My team is they're like we just heard this 2 days ago. So I promise I'm gonna put a little bit of a different spin on it. But raise your hands again. All right, so half of you, which surprises me. So here's my story. I started in Primerica. I was introduced to Primerica at 18. I got licensed when I was 19. The only reason I started Primerica is I didn't want a job. It was a great opportunity to make extra money. So I've always made money in Primerica. My year 1 and my year 2, I made an extra $1,000 a month. My year 3 and my year 4, I made an extra $2,000 a month. So I was making $1,000 to $2,000 a month, living home with my parents with no expenses, and it was the greatest thing ever. But here's the thing, I didn't come here to build nothing. And then what happened is my why changed, because I met my ex-wife, right? And who in here knows that I was married? So pretty much everybody. So I met my ex-wife, and we got engaged within 9 months, and we got married when I was 24 and she was 22. And I remember the first night that we were married, I woke up and I literally thought, holy crap, what did I just do? Not because of her, but because of me, because I had lived at home with my parents, I had never made any real money, and I had never had any bills. So overnight, I had a wife that didn't have any real career at all. I had bills, rent, light bill, and I wasn't making any money in Primerica. And I woke up and I said, holy crap, what did I just do? And I blocked everything out, I went to work, and the next 12 months as a division leader, I won every award that you could win. I crossed the stage 13 times and at his awards night, and Omar promoted me to regional leader in front of everybody. The next month I hit my Power Builder watch, right? So I went to work with my head down because I realized I'm either gonna do this or I'm gonna die trying. And so I went after it. And so, I started to go through this whole transition phase of, okay, I need to make money, but I need to build a team, and I was trying to figure out that whole thing that I was just telling Alex about. And so around the time that I had a team, I had codes, I had people showing up, had just gone to the convention, and we crossed the stage, we got a taste of that success. My ex-wife and I, we were on the bus ride home from the convention having a really emotional talk, and the talk went like this. I told her, look, get a job for the next 6 months. I'm going to get to work for the next 6 months. And 6 months from now, you're never going to have to ever get another job again, and we're going to be free professional. And she said, okay, let's do it. I'm in this together. I got your back. So she gets a job, right? And the convention was in June. So July, she got the job. August 22nd, 2013, I come home on a Thursday night at 10 o'clock. And just something was off that week. I felt it, so I came home and I'm like, hey babe, what's up? What's going on? You kind of been cold and distant this week, and what's up? What's on your mind? I didn't realize that she had her bags packed. And she's like, listen, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with you. I'm not happy with the marriage. I just feel like I need some space. And I'm like, space? We got 2 extra bedrooms in our 3-bedroom house that we just bought. We're not even in marriage counseling. There's steps that you take that's a progression so that we can work on things if things are wrong. What are you leaving for? And she just insisted, and I figured, you know what? Maybe she's pissed off about something, she needs to blow off some steam, let her spend the night at her mom's house. So she left that night, and she never came back. She never spent one more night back in our house. And so it took me about 30 days, actually because of Omar. Omar's the reason that I found this out. But I found out that she had met a guy through her job, and that she wasn't even spending that at her mom's house. She was spending that at his house, and she was in a full blown out affair, right? So I ended up, find everything unraveled, overnight. I confronted her, and she's like, listen, I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm done. I want to be with this guy, not you. I want a divorce. So we filed for divorce October 7th, and when the divorce court, when they got the paperwork for it, we had no kids, and we had a house and money saved. But she just wanted to walk away. She left all of it to me. So when the courts got everything, they're like, okay, no kids, no assets to disclose. There's a breakup. So they scheduled our divorce hearing for October 22nd, 2013. 14 calendar days, start to finish divorce process. So everything had hit me so fast that I didn't even go to court. I wasn't ready to get divorced. I was happily married 2 months prior to that. So she shows up to court, sends me a text message that we're divorced, and that was the end of it. And for me, that whole experience emotionally was the best analogy I can give you guys is kind of like if you're driving in a car, right, and somebody T-bones you at 80 miles an hour and just blows you off the street, and you wake up from almost like an unconscious coma, and you're like, what just happened? That is the exact way that I felt. My entire life, my why, everything unraveled before me in a matter of 60 days. My life was completely different, and I was completely broken. And I heard Guy Shashadi used to say this all the time. Guy Shashadi's Omar's upline. He's $1 million earner, and Guy used to say when he was a football coach, if a player was hurt on the field, he would go up to the player and he'd say, "Is it pain, like a cramp? Is it pain or is it injury?" And if the player said it's pain, he'd said that get up and get back on the field and don't let your team down. He said, but if it was injury, like a broken leg or they're bleeding or whatever, he would carry them off the field so that, because you obviously can't play, right? And so for me, that wasn't pain, that was injury. And I had to,
You were out.
I was out. And I needed to, my whole life changed. I needed to figure it out. And for like a year, I went on a hiatus. I didn't care about my business in Primerica. I had a team at that time that just dissipated. Whatever I had fell apart. And I questioned everything. I questioned Primerica because it wasn't Primerica, it was me, because I didn't have my why anymore. I didn't know what I was fighting for, right? I questioned my faith, like, God, I saved my virginity for my wife, and this is what happened. Like, I had to question everything in my life. And so it took me a year to get through that storm, through that personal journey. And so the reason that I'm sharing all this with you guys is not from a negative perspective, it's from a positive perspective, because what Danny and Alfred just talked about, if I were to entitle what I'm going to tell you guys, it's about raising your perspective. Because here's what happened. What I learned through that time process, what I learned through it is this, okay? It's amazing how God made our spirits. He made our spirits in the same way that He made our bodies. Let me explain to you what I mean by that, okay? And I told my team this the other day. Alfred used to be a personal trainer, right? Mm-hmm. So he used to teach people how to work out. So you tell me whether I'm right or wrong on this. When you're in the gym working out, it's funny you're just asking Andres about the gym. When you're in the gym working out, right, in that time, all you're doing is you're breaking down your muscle, right? You're fatiguing your muscle to the point of exhaustion to where the next couple of days you're going to get sore. And so what your body's designed to do is to say, okay, let me rebuild this muscle stronger so that the next time that weight comes upon me, I'm going to be ready for it, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. There's a catch to that. That doesn't happen automatically unless you put the right things into your body. So if you're eating like crap and you're not getting enough sleep and not drinking enough water, your muscles are not going to grow back stronger the way they need to. Does this make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So if you put the right things into your body, the right kinds of proteins, the right kinds of shakes, the right kind of carbs, the right kind of nutrients, you're getting enough sleep and water, your body is going to grow back stronger even though you broke down the muscle. Our spirits are the same exact way. What happens is we go through adversities, we go through problems, through disappointments, through people that have wronged us. We go through all that stuff. We go through rejection, where what happens is our spirits get broken down, right? But what happens is it's meant to make you stronger if you put the right things into your soul, right? Which is the right books, the right people, the right audios, the right mentors, the right church. So if you're, the Bible, right? If you're putting all of that into you, when you go through adversity, what do you think it's going to do to your character? It's going to build you back up the way that your body is meant to be built back up. But you guys ever meet people that, like, it's funny because, like, when Daryl and Stephanie and Jonathan and Jenny and I, and when we all go out to eat, you know, sometimes we'll get, like, a super negative, like, waiter or waitress, right? And you ever meet somebody that they're just bitter, like, their energy is just negative? Why? Because the same crap that happens to you, that you reacted good to and you let build your character, that person got bitter and angry about because they didn't put the right things into them to deal with it. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So here's my message to you guys. Why is it that in the last 2 years, what's happened with my team didn't happen in the 9 previous years before that? And the answer is that I've completely changed my perspective of how I look at problems and issues and challenges. Completely. When adversity comes into my life, I'm not trying to come across from a Superman perspective. Nothing should affect you and everything should just balance off. My point is, we're all going to go through garbage. We're all going to go through crap. Are you going to look at it from the perspective that it's going to, you know, why does this happen to me? You know, and you get bitter and angry about it? Or are you going to let it build your character and be like, man, the reason that I'm going through this is because there's a calling on my life, there's a purpose on my life, and there's lives that are going to be affected because of what I'm going through right now. And so what happened was with Daryl and Stephanie and Jonathan and Jenny, I've built a strong relationship with them simply because I've been very, very genuine. I've been very intentional from day one about what it is that they want, finding out what them and their families want and their future goals and aspirations are, and I've been very clear and intentional of showing them how they can get it, and I've combined that with becoming very transparent with them about who I am and what I've been through. So now what happens is when they go through stuff with me, okay, I'm sorry, not with me, when they go through problems, when they go through stuff, okay, they don't throw it down line to their reps. What they do is they bring it up to me because they know that I've made myself available to them in that way. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we've built a culture, and that's why my team name, or the team name we came up with, is Fear United, right? F-E-A-R. For most people, it stands for F everything and run, right? That's what fear is to most people. But for our team, we believe it stands for Face Everything and Rise, and we face everything and rise united. So that's the culture that we've put together. You see? So it's not just Primerica, it's life that we do together, right? We go to church together, we go to Bible studies together, we go out to eat together, right? We spend time together, right? In every way. So in other words, I look, because of what's happened in my life, I don't look to invest into them just in Primerica ways. I look to invest into them in their lives because I care. Does that make sense? Yeah. And so everything that you're going through is building your character so that you can invest into other people. And I believe that's what we're called to do. So this year I've been through a lot of crap. I've lost grandparents. I went through a horrible breakup. I've had, you know, illnesses. I've had all kinds of stuff. I've had more stuff happen year to date than I had the waxing. I cried myself to sleep that night. Right? But listen, I've had more stuff that you guys don't even know about happen year to date than I've had prior to my divorce in my entire life combined. But I'm ready for it because God has allowed me to build my character to when it comes, I can rise above it. I can raise myself to a whole new level, which is why Danny
is talking about doing that gratitude practice. He's always in an attitude of praise and an expectation, right? So with that being said, you guys, here's the deal. We all have our own personal stories. Outside of Fight Club, it's great for coaching, but we can't really build each other up individually and get to know each other in our personal stories unless we take it to another level. So what we decided is we're going to do a contest so we can build unity and build strength and build each other up and grow our relationships with everybody. So here's what we're going to do. Last month, okay, as a whole, collectively, we did 56 recruits by 75,573, okay? That's what we did. So here's the deal. When we beat it, not if we beat it, when we beat it this month, we're going to do a barbecue November 13th at PSN Park, Palm Springs North Park over here, okay? So everyone's invited. Everyone's invited. But here's the deal. It's Fight Club. It wouldn't be the real deal unless we had a little competition up in here. So here's what's going to go down, okay? Every adult has to bring $10. So if you're married, you come with you. We want you to bring your spouse, number one. But if you bring your partner, your spouse, make sure they bring $10 as well. So the top 10 producers, okay, so the top 10 in this room are going to get served by everybody else, which is the bottom 10. So the question is, are you going to be doing the eating or are you going to be doing the serving? Right? There's going to be some egos in check in this room. Right? So that's the competition. So is everybody excited about this competition?
Yeah.
So we got a lot of work to do.
Everybody's available, right?